Is this pump going to continue, or are we going to see a consolidation or a major retracement? Because yes, if we're going to look at the previous month, we saw some major gains. Link up 111%, Solana 166, AVAX 97, and yes guys, we can see that Kaspa's up 95%, but if we go over to the weekly candles, you can see that Kaspa's up 30%, and a lot of people called me crazy that I bought the exact top, but yes, I'm up 30%, and guys, yes, I'm going to upload a dedicated video about a coin that you definitely should hold in your portfolio that is at least going to make 3000%. Yes, you heard me right, this coin is going to 30x. So guys, if you want to find out which coin it is, make sure to subscribe and smash up the like button. But in this video, we're going to look at the charts, the facts, and also the news to find out what we could expect. Are we going to see this continuation or a major correction? So yes, stay tuned until the end, and yes, let's start directly over with the news. But before we're going to do that, guys, I want to welcome all the new subscribers because yes, my previous video got a lot of views and also some new subscribers, so I welcome you all to Be4Crypto. And if you're still watching this video without being subscribed, make sure to smash up the like button and subscribe. And first of all, we're going to go over to X because yes, Miles Deutscher posted retail hasn't even returned yet, and Bitcoin is still at 37k. Imagine what happens when they do. And yes, this is exactly the fact. If all the retail investors, all the small investors enter the markets in this major hype phase, because yes, nobody bought at the bottom where I told you to load up on Bitcoin, dollar cost average, and if you've done that, yes, you would have been up 111%. But we're going to find out what is going to happen if all this FOMO is going to start, Bitcoin is going to break its all-time high. Guys, we're going to see a massive explosion towards the upside, and yes, you're still early, so don't miss this opportunity to dollar cost average into Bitcoin, Ethereum, Kaspa, and some of the major altcoins. And yes, we're going to go over to the next news, because what can we expect within this week? And yes, it is once again the US Consumer Price Index tomorrow, the CPI, but what can we expect? At the moment, we can see we have a forecast of round about 3.3%. And the previous reading was 3.7. So yes, this would be good for the overall markets, that we're seeing that inflation comes down. But what is going to happen if we're going to get a higher than expected number? Then we could expect that the dollar is pumping and that we could expect a dump for the overall crypto market. But this wouldn't be a bad situation, because this gives you the opportunity to dollar cost average in some of these coins. So let's go over to the charts and let's start with the dollar currency index. Because yes, we saw this pump towards the upside, and I told you that we are most probably going to form a lower high, and exactly that happened. At the moment, the dollar index formed a lower high exactly here at the $106 level, and we can also see we talked about this previous support that turns into resistance, and exactly that happened. We got a rejection exactly here, and the dollar index broke all the way back down underneath this major support, and this support box have been drawn out for quite a while. So we could expect, if we're going to close underneath this with a 4-hour candle like we did, that we could expect at least that the dollar index is going to come all the way back down to this support box round about the $105 level, and that we're going to see some volatility if the markets turns around here, because yes, CPI inflation numbers are going to bring some volatility within the markets. So expect, if the dollar is going to come all the way back down, that the crypto market is going to see a major push towards the upside, maybe even through the bullish news that the CPI reading is lower than expected. But if it's higher than expected, we could expect that the dollar index is going to go even higher, and that we at least could expect that the dollar index is going to come all the way back up to fill this major gap round about the $106 level. This would be bad for the overall crypto market, but good to dollar cost average. So let's go over to Bitcoin to look at the overall market situation. And yes, Bitcoin had this massive pump towards the upside on the daily chart, and we can see this consolidation and the sideways move, and this is first of all extremely bullish, because if Bitcoin would be weak exactly here at our price target at the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement level, we could expect that Bitcoin would have dumped all the way back down to this major support, but Bitcoin stayed within this range. So let's go on the lower time frames to find out what formation are we forming at the moment. And on the 4-hour chart, guys, we have drawn out this Fibonacci retracement levels from this previous breakout all the way to the high. And here we can see, guys, we are once again underneath the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level that acts as a resistance at the moment. But we can also see that Bitcoin perfectly found support above the 38.2. But first of all, if we're going to see a retracement, we could expect the 61.8 or even the 78.6, which was our previous resistance. But guys, if we're going to turn around in these areas, we could expect a massive breakout. And yes, we've talked about the price targets in the previous video. The price target is going to be the $40,000 level. But guys, yes, we're going to remove all these drawings and we're going to find out in which pattern is Bitcoin at the moment. And yes, if we're going to zoom in on the 4-hour charts, then we can see that Bitcoin is once again in a symmetrical triangle, all the way from the bottom all the way to here. And here we can see we perfectly bounced off from this trend line. But guys, yes, if we're going to see this breakout from the symmetrical triangle and break this previous highs, we could expect that Bitcoin is going to see a move all the way to the $40,000 level. Yes, the measured move from this symmetrical triangle would be the width exactly at the breakout point. Now we can see it would be all the way at 38,299. But I expect if we're going to break this previous highs, that we're going to come all the way up to the $40,000 level. But yes, guys, we could see a bearish case that Bitcoin is going to come all the way back down to the 61.8 or even the 78.6. But I think this is just going to be a quick retracement if we're going to see the dump, that the price is going to dump all the way back down through this volatility, through the CPI or the bad CPI reading, and then we could expect this pump straight back up. Because yes, a lot of people get frustrated through the sideways movement that Bitcoin is in at the moment. So what is the market going to do? Yes, we're going to see a fake out to liquidate all these long positions, and then the market is going to turn around. And yes, in the previous video I told you that I sold some Bitcoin exactly at the top, and a lot of people didn't understand why I sold my Bitcoin, because I always say hodl your Bitcoin, hold on to your Bitcoin. But guys, we're going to go over to the Bitcoin versus Ethereum chart. And yes, I sold my Bitcoin, or some of my Bitcoin, just to get it right, a portion of my Bitcoin, I sold them exactly here at the 0.53 level. And if we go over to Bybit exactly in these levels, I sold a portion of my Bitcoin exactly at the bottom. And yes, I expected Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin in the immediate short term, that we're going to get this bounce all the way up here. Because if we go over to the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart, and if we're going to zoom out, guys, you can see that in history, Ethereum always outperformed Bitcoin in a short period of time. And we're just going to make this calculation. I sold a portion of my Bitcoin here. So let's say, for instance, I sold 1 Bitcoin exactly here. And we're getting this pump just all the way to the previous highs. So we're going to take a measured move all the way from the levels where I sold a portion of my Bitcoin all the way to the previous local highs exactly here. And now we can see this is a move of 60%, guys. This means I increased my Bitcoin around 60%. So yes, if I sold 1 Bitcoin exactly here and I'm going to sell my Ethereum versus Bitcoin exactly here, I made 0.6 Bitcoin, and this is just a major move. So yes, guys, sometimes you have to sell a portion of your Bitcoin to make even more Bitcoin. And why do I think that Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin? If we go over to the Ethereum chart and we zoom out, then we can see, yes, guys, we had this major move towards the upside for Bitcoin, breaking the previous highs, the previous local highs. And yes, we didn't see this move for Ethereum yet, breaking the previous highs and having this major push all the way to the bull market support. So we could expect this move for Ethereum, because Ethereum is lagging behind, and this will also drag up the overall crypto market, the altcoins, because yes, we saw a massive pump for Bitcoin, and a lot of profits from Bitcoin is going to flow in the smaller cap altcoins or even Ethereum. And exactly that is the reason why we could expect that altcoins and Ethereum are going to outperform Bitcoin, and that is a great opportunity to dollar cost average into altcoins using your Bitcoin to maximize your Bitcoin holding. And let's go over to Kaspa, because yes, Kaspa had this massive pump towards the upside. In the previous video, we've been talking about price targets. If we're going to get this rejection and also the retracement, because yes, Kaspa has pumped quite high. We reached the 10-cent level, but guys, I think that the 10-cent level, but yes, even buying at the 10-cent level, I expect that we're going to see a further move towards the upside. I even expect that Kaspa is going to reach the $1 level within the next bull market. And yes, the question is going to be, where are you going to load up on Kaspa? Are we going to see a further dump? And these are the price targets that we've talked about. Yes, my first price target is going to be the 23.6, which is round about the 8-cent level. And we can see that Kaspa is at the moment dumping, so we could expect, yes, this would be our first level where we could expect a bounce. But if we're going to break this level towards the downside, I expect the next price target at 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level, or even the 61.8, which is our previous resistance. So guys, yes, these are the areas where you should dollar cost average into Kaspa. If the price movement comes all the way back down, invest a small amount. Because yes, we could expect a further move towards the upside, and if you want to buy crypto on the spot market or trade it with a leverage, go down in the video description below and you can sign up with my partner links. With Bybit you receive a $30,000 deposit bonus, with OKX a $60,000 deposit bonus, and also a free mystery box. And I also have exchanges where you don't need any KYC. Fairdesk with a deposit bonus of $100,000 and also VIP1 account and 5% off your fees. And you can also sign up to MEXC, where you get a lot of coins that are not even listed on Binance or even the major exchanges like Bybit or even OKX. I use all of these exchanges because yes, we could expect this pump towards the upside for Bitcoin and the overall crypto market, and you don't want to miss out on these major gains because yes, we are only at the beginning and we could expect a massive pump towards the upside. So yes guys, smash up the like button and subscribe and activate the bell so that you will stay up to date, and make sure to be for crypto, and we see each other in the next video.